Hello everyone, welcome to your darling program, The Voice of Eve. Today we have the privilege to reflect on a very important subject, and that is our youth and our governance. Please stay tuned, we'll soon be back. There is a saying that goes that the future begins today. So what we do today will reflect on the type of future we are creating. What we are doing for the youth today is what we can expect from them for tomorrow, their future. There is a nagging question, and we will ask it here. Are the youth doing well enough for themselves? And is the governance doing well enough for the youth? It's just a time of reflection, and we will ask you to join us in this deliberation. I am Dr. Violet Arene. Welcome back. If you're just joining us for the first time, this is the Voice of Eve. We have the privilege to reflect on a very sensitive subject, and it is our youth and our governance today. People complain that the youth are abandoned or not empowered enough. But we are not here to indict anyone. We are going to distribute responsibilities in the course of problem solving. We are privileged to have with us in the studio today some educationists and consultants who will help us and lead us in this thought process. I have here with me Adedoyi, IT consultant. You're very welcome.
Thank you.
I have Christian Nonso, educational consultant. You're very welcome.
Thank you, ma'am.
And I have Mrs. Chukwukezie, educationist. You're very welcome.
Thank you.
We have a very high-powered panel. And I'm also an educationist myself, Dr. Arene, and a developmental person. The problem is our youth. Let me tell you the way it is in my heart. The youth represent our future. Obviously. Because the adults are, most adults have lived, maybe half of their lives.
As a matter of fact, the youth is the prophecy of the future.
Thank you. That's it. So when we're talking about the youth, really, we're talking about what type of future we want to have our children to experience. Adedoyi, from what you can see today, just look at the scenario. Do you think that the saying, which is a truism, that you begin the future today, is happening with our youth?
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Well, I won't entirely say yes, in the Nigerian context. I think a whole lot of factors have come to play over the years, and in a way, when we look at how our youth are today, we should ask ourselves collectively, both the old and the young, that how do we get to this point where our youth are not empowered enough to take up responsibility? Is it the youth, or is it the older ones that are responsible for this? And I think it's something that we all need to sit down together to ask ourselves. Because the truth is, the older ones have led us up until now, and we need more younger people to also take up responsibility. Okay,
I will rest it there. You are saying that things are not okay enough, and you don't think that the youth are involved. Is that what you think too, Christian?
Okay, I think this is a very sensitive topic, and I will handle it from a different perspective from what Adedoyi said. Now, when it comes to the youth and governance starts with personal responsibility.
Yeah.
So a typical Nigerian youth, the problem today, in fact, as a matter of fact, the problem today is that a typical Nigerian youth has what is known as entitlement mentality. In other words, before a youth decides to make any certain progress, it entitles himself to a particular system or supporting structures. Like, for example, a typical Nigerian graduate still depends on the government to provide jobs. Without that, the rains abuses on the government. No, that's not the issue.
Thank you. I think you rested there. I think you made a very valid point. Raining abuses on governance is an indictment on the youth, isn't it?
Yeah, sure it is.
And Madam, how do you see the social media vis-a-vis the governance, which is ruled by the youth? What do they do? I think they do something that maybe we don't like in the social media.
It's just like
You
Nonsense.
say raining abuses. They
Just-
they rain abuse in the social media.
Just like Nonsense said, I think it's a sense of irresponsibility.
Okay.
When youth sit down and begin to rain abuses, everyone is responsible for their future.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Everybody should come to the fact that I am responsible for myself.
Yeah.
Whatever I turn out to be is my fault. So government is not owing anybody. That is from my own perspective.
Okay. That is a very. Some people will contest that statement.
Yes.
Yeah,
Because
which I would.
which you would. In fact, I saw you trotted up, and I know that
Which I
you will
would.
say no. There's a bit of entitlement.
Okay.
But there's also this beautiful saying by late John F. Kennedy that.
Do not ask for what your country will do for you, but
what
you
you
do
will do for your country.
That is the
There's a reciprocity that maybe we often neglect in this type of, because of maybe the values of the adults who have, I think one of the, I'm just talking about adults facelessly.
Yes.
They have given the impression of over entitlement
Yes,
that has
exactly.
become permeated the
Yeah,
culture.
Exactly.
should take
Which
care
is
of
wrong. You know, and it's, you know, that this over entitlement thing is being taken to a ridiculous extreme in our own environment.
That's
Do you know that even a governor overseas could be driving himself?
Obviously.
Okay,
It's happening.
and
It's
he
happening.
doesn't go with any security
Yeah,
or
exactly,
anything.
yeah.
Yes.
We have seen things that just make us wonder, what sort of society are we in here?
Because
over entitlement.
We believe we are entitled to some things that government should give us.
Yes.
Or government should. Fine. We are not saying government should neglect our citizen. But the issue of sitting down and waiting for government to feed me or take care of my responsibility, that I will wait till eternity.
Yes.
It will never come.
Okay,
Yes.
let me just
let that Aderoye say what he wants to
let
say
me
about
just
this
say this.
entitlement.
Now, we just quoted John F. Kennedy.
Yes.
Now, but the truth is, you can't give what you don't have.
Absolutely.
The question is this: how do our youth? How do they grow up? We grow up in a society that has bastardized loyalty to the country, that has bastardized the feeling that okay, Nigeria is a country that you need to grow up in. Now, an average youth wants to leave the country because they are frustrated, and in that capacity, you expect an average youth that is already frustrated by the system to come up and tell you that okay, I want to do something for my country.
If I may ask,
No,
why-
just hold on.
why are they
I'm
frustrated?
coming. I'm going somewhere. Now, I'll just pick an average footballer, for example. Now, we had some of our footballers that went out to probably play football. Now, some of the stories that came back were not so encouraging. Some of them had to switch to other countries because of the frustration of the system. You understand? Now,
We are talking about it's something very, very critical. You mentioned system.
Yes.
System. It's
Yes.
system governance.
Yes.
System is a creation of all of us.
All of us. Yes.
Okay.
Not just
Not
governance.
just some group of
Okay.
people.
So you just indicted something, a nebulous something called system.
System, yes.
Please let's hold on to it
Okay.
in the quest of
Okay.
this subject.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
System.
Okay.
What did you say about system?
Now, I think the Nigerian system has been built in a way to actually kill the average capacity of a Nigerian youth. Because when you talk about loyalty, when you talk about people should do something for their country, the question is this: have the country built capacity in them to think in this capacity? Have the country built capacity in these people to be able to think in this line? You understand? Because you went to secondary school, you went to university. The system didn't put you through a system where you will have to be able to come up with innovative solutions for yourself.
Now, let me come in because I need to say something contrary to what you've said, although you have your point of
I
view.
understand.
Now, like I mentioned one time to a friend that this era we have shifted from human natural resources to human capital development.
Yes, sure.
Now, the point now isn't about even the government or the system. Now, it's humans that create systems.
Yes.
Difference didn't just come
Yeah,
up.
we create
We
the system.
create
Yes,
system.
definitely.
And we sustain it.
Now, let me talk about that. You mentioned the educational system. Now, things have changed. We are in the information age. what we need to change is our mindset before we can change governance.
The question is, who will change that mindset?
The who will change
and
now?
I.
You and I
It's
with
not
a renewed
you and I.
mindset.
So when you say you and I,
Yes.
what I'm saying is that yes, we have youth that are coming up,
Okay.
that are trying to make a difference.
All right,
You
okay.
understand? Now compare this small group of youth that are what I would call self-taught.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
The group in this capacity that are majorly self-taught. Now compare them to the army of youths. You understand? They are still trying to find their way. Now when you talk about unpatriotism, to me, I don't think it's fair for you to tell me that okay, Nigerian youth are unpatriotic. They have a sense of entitlement. No, you understand? What I think is that they've grown up in a system. You understand? Whereby they see some few elites. You understand? Taking up everything.
Okay, now for what you've said, the question now is okay, fine. I accept. If I were to accept, okay. Now, how do we break this system so that the youth actually can have a renewed mindset to change themselves and even change governance?
Help themselves.
We are looking at solutions,
Okay.
practical solutions.
That's solution.
Very good.
Yes.
But I like the way this thing is panning out, because you are talking about a system that has lost control of itself,
Yeah,
and
that
is
was-
being
yeah.
punished by the system, by itself. Because can we say that kidnapping, armed robbery, yahoo, what you are suffering today, it's all that
System.
came out from a system
System.
that is has destroyed itself.
Okay.
Yes,
Agreed.
agreed.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
agreed.
Yeah.
But then I'm of the opinion that there is an adage in Yoruba that when they give birth to you, you rebirth yourself.
Yes. And
So
like-
you don't wait and say, okay, I will not have a thing to say now. Okay, because my parents were poor, I will be poor because I came out from a poor
Definitely.
system.
Definitely.
No,
Uh-huh.
I decided to take a new turn.
Thank you.
I decided to make a change for myself.
Okay.
So that change can can start from me to another generation.
Just let's look at this practical issue. Like he mentioned, the school system. Okay, because every typical Nigerian students, when they go into the school system, have this programming that okay, after schooling, government owns me a
provide
job.
job.
Just imagine the entitlement
Which is-
mentality.
It's not an entitlement.
No,
I think that mentality is changing now.
It's not.
Let me
It's changing now.
Let me break
It's changing. Yeah.
it.
It should be
Now check was it last year when the issue of paying graduate 5,000 naira?
Yes.
What change of entitlement mentality did it create?
That was very funny.
That was very
It
funny.
wasn't.
Honestly.
I think
Now,
for me,
excuse me, just get my point. Now, if I were that student, I realize that this system is faulty. Okay, then why should I be thinking that after graduation, government owes me a job? No, I should now be thinking, well, why in the system? How can I create these jobs when I graduate? I don't know what I'm saying.
Yes,
so it's not really about.
I'll be as practical as possible over just based on what you just said. Now you talked about making a change.
Yes.
Now the question is, we've had young Nigerians here that has built businesses, and government or the system that we are talking about has killed that system.
Agreed.
They've frustrated and they've left the country.
Okay.
We've had a number of hold on. We have a number of medical doctors that have gone through the Nigerian educational system. They are some of the best doctors in the world today.
Yeah.
They've left this country out of frustration, not because they were unpatriotic.
Okay.
But now, when we talk about a sense of entitlement and all that, for me, it's the government's responsibility to create jobs. We cannot all start something. We cannot all be entrepreneurs. We cannot all run businesses.
Agreed.
You understand?
Okay.
What the
Yeah,
government should do is to create an enabling system where people like you and I can build a structure and bring other youths like us into the system. But if I have to run a business and I have to spend so much on fuel, I have to spend so much to provide security for myself, the money I'm supposed to pay salary, I'll probably lay off some people because I need to run my business. You understand? So the cost of buying fuel alone is enough to probably employ like 4 or 5 other people. So if we have a system in place where all these things are already structured, and I know that okay, if I'm going to run a business, I don't need to bother about light, I don't need to bother about security, I don't need to bother about water. You understand? I can employ more people because more resources is coming in. I have more free cash to put into the system. You understand? So that's what I'm trying to say. So in as much as yes, youth need to step out and do some things for themselves.
Okay.
And I think Nigerians are fantastic at that. You understand? We have some of the best and the most dynamic youths across Africa.
So my point is now you got a point.
You
now.
got a point.
Yeah,
Yes,
I got a point now.
Nigerian youth are enterprising
Yeah,
and dynamic, but some of them are impatient. They
A
want
lot of
to
them are
get rich quick mania,
schemes, yeah.
and they emulate. They say they're emulating the adults. You know. They
want to arrive on
right.
time.
They want to run
They want
before
to
they
jump
walk.
up. They don't want to grow.
So, but they ask for being dynamic and the most enterprising, standing in the sun, holding a few wares, running after cars in the traffic from morning till night. I don't know anywhere in the world where you can get a youth doing that. This is Nigerian youth. Very tough, very enterprising, but is there. Go ahead, madam.
Just like I was saying, like I agree with what Adedoyin just said.
Yes.
That even if some of us decide, okay, I want to start something for myself, I want to do this, but there is certain things that will limit or frustrate that move.
Yes.
Like you mentioned, the place of electricity, the place. But for me, I'm trying to look at it. I'm trying to look at it from the angle of not looking at it from not being accepted to be frustrated.
Thank you. That's another great. Yes.
Thank you. I think you can rest it there. It's not what happens to you, but how you respond to what is happening to you.
Exactly.
You can accept not to be defeated.
Yes.
That is what we are talking about. Now, what about this thing about creativity? Do you think that God has not equipped everybody to survive? There, this word called creativity, which comes out of our talent, is money. It's resource. But do you think our youth, I know some are doing very well, do you think that we have done enough, the youth have done enough with their creativity, especially the ones that have gone negatively creative to devise destruction as a way of surviving? I think maybe I can answer myself. The entertainment world, some useful creative ways can answer to the problem of poverty or lack of the youth today.
Definitely.
As much as we want to say governance is not providing jobs, remember the world economy is not sparing any country.
Yeah, sure.
Even the youth everywhere in the world. Remember what caused the Arab Spring?
Yes.
It was the youth problem, no employment and so on. So we are not in isolation in the world system.
Yeah.
But the thing is, how are we solving our problems? This mindset thing, do you think the youth have appreciated that their talent is latent? Creativity is a way out.
Okay, I think one of the best things anybody can ever do is to creatively solve a problem. Now, Nigeria is a land of opportunity because we have so much challenges. I think, just like you rightly said, youths have not entirely explored enough of their creativity. We've not even scratched the surface of our creativity yet. Some of the little things we see is just we are just starting out. Let me just put it that way. And I think in a lot of ways also, we as a youth, some of the youths that are already coming up, that are already seeing the potentials of what we have, should do more to bring other youths up too.
Yes.
You understand? Because that's probably one of the easiest way we can get ourselves out of poverty.
Exactly. Like I run a forum where what we do is go to secondary schools, especially, or churches, just to enlighten people about their talents, their gifts.
Talents.
That everybody is gifted.
Yes.
Don't waste away. If education or going to the university for what education is the way out, we won't have this large turnout of graduates without job. Our talent is an instrument of making money, which God has given to everybody.
Yes.
So do yourself good by looking inward and assessing your place. Your talent is your place.
Yes.
Assess your place, then put it in use. You make money out of it. You won't need to wait for the government to do 100% before you can feed. I used to tell people, when I see people arguing about government is doing the government, I say you are the government, I am the government.
Absolutely.
I do my part, you do your part.
Yeah.
Nigeria,
Yes, in
is a
fact,
change
you
place.
did, madam, you hit
Yeah.
a nail on the head.
Yeah.
Who is this governance? Governance is all of us.
Yeah.
Anybody in any position of responsibility.
Yeah,
We're not talking
Yeah.
about national
Absolutely,
assembly.
absolutely.
We are talking about all of us.
Absolutely.
Anybody who has responsibility over others is a governance.
Yes,
Yeah.
governance.
And
yes.
so, who is that? You know, you are not looking at the man there in Asorok to come and bail you out of not having gari to eat.
I wonder.
You know, no. So we are saying, having said all this, we might also ask our youth to allow themselves to be educated. Those of them who indulge in sharp practices like expos and buying degrees should stop it, because there's value in education.
There is value.
There's deep value.
And it's for our own good.
I also want to mention something, which, as much as some of the youths are involved in some of these things,
Yes.
but we should not also forget the fact that they are involved in some of these things with the backing of their parents.
Some
of them
Some
yes,
parents.
Some of
yeah.
them.
So that is in evil things.
Yes, sure.
Yes.
With the back, of course.
Sure.
Anyway,
No, like
when
for
the
example-
kidnappers were caught in the east,
Yeah, even
there's of their fathers who were supporting them were also
even
caught.
for
Serious.
example,
Yes.
as simple as
Yes,
as
yeah,
simple
I
as
think you're right.
certificate forgery.
Yes.
An average SS2, SS3 student cannot go and write WAEC or JAMB in a special center without the parents.
Without the consent of
Or
the parents.
It's
Bringing
very, very
money. There
difficult.
must be
Yes.
Yes.
Even buying fake certificate has to come from the parents. So I think it goes back to the family structure.
Okay.
You understand? The family structure where I would rather do anything for my child to get a headway in life than for me to show him the honorable path. You understand? So which is where the core of the problem really is. So if my father has been a good example to me,
Yes.
there is a very, very slim chance that I would get out of school tomorrow and choose to say, okay, I want to be a Yahoo boy.
Yes.
For somebody like me, I practically grew up among Yahoo boys.
You did?
understand? Yes, I did.
Why did you escape?
For somebody anybody that actually went to a federal university, that went to a state university, at the time we went, which was when the whole internet was probably bubbling and all that.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Now you would understand that you would practically grew up among some of these boys.
Yeah.
You understand? But then, like you asked, how did I escape? I actually escaped because of some of the values I learned from my dad.
At home.
I
At
learned
home.
from what I learned from my mom. You understand? Because I knew that they would tell you that, look, there's no shortcuts in life. You have to do what you need to do. You understand? But then if you think you want to get a shortcut, you end up causing a problem for yourself. So I think it's just that value that held me.
So
Parents,
in other
you need
words,
something. Parents should help the youth
Value.
in other words,
to be prepared for a better future.
future, yeah.
Parents should not overindulge their children and be collaborators in crime with their children if we want a better future for our children.
Thank you.
Yes, you were saying
I want to
something.
just add to what you just said. Like, in other words, good education is traceable to the home.
Thank you.
In
Home.
fact, it's traceable to the home. That's
Everything ends up in the home.
it. Home, yeah.
Everything ends up with parents, with the youth himself, values. What did you learn? What life? What did you learn about life in school? What are your values? What are your goals? Is your goal, what is your definition of success? Youth, let's ask you. Let's ask you, what is your definition of success? Is it riding a Bentley?
Materialism.
or buying a jet? Or limousine?
Imparting lights.
Or what are your values? What is your definition of success? What did you learn in school about how to think? Must you be goaded into doing anything? A boy will come and take you, give you an AK-47, you join to go robbery? No. Terrorism to make money is making money quick and enjoying bloody money. Is that your definition of success? Everything goes back to yourself, your home, where you come from, what your parents or guardians or significant others put in you. Youth, the time in the world today is tough. All economies are struggling.
Yeah.
Nigeria is also a struggling economy. We are not sparing the adults who are giving youth bad example, but we are saying youth, accept responsibility, find your future.
Exactly.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, viewers, the sensitization of this subject, our governance and our youth, is very pertinent. It is a reciprocal situation. Yes, the youth deserve some support system, but mainly the youth themselves should fall back on their own internal resources, their talents and creativity and their values. And parents must help to sustain positive values in the youth. It is a reciprocal and collective responsibility situation to make sure that truly today we begin to do what we want to happen for our youth tomorrow. Thank you all for listening. I am Dr. Violet Arene.